names and meanings. Be more specific about my name, of course. I am George, as you saw on the agenda, but many people in my life are calling me Ramses. And so often I hear that, hey Ramses, what about this name? What does it mean? And I thought this icebreaker is a very good chance to share with you the meaning behind this name. So get ready. I will invite all of you in an amazing 6 minutes of journey where I will share with you two meanings, 1 and 2. Our first meaning of my name starts right here, thousands of years ago, in the ancient Egypt, of course. The land of great and legendary pharaohs, and the greatest of them all, Ramses II, the greatest leader of the entire Egyptian culture. His name inspired fear. His name inspired love. Even the crocodiles from the Nile love him. So, this is the first meaning, greatness. In a different story, in a different culture, right here, the Jewish people, they had some pretty bad memories about the Egyptians. And I think, how many of you heard about Moses and his story? The Moses, oh, really good, really good. You know that is a very, very special story because it has a Moses and it has a Pharaoh. And many scholars are telling us the Pharaoh from the Moses story is the same as the Pharaoh that I was telling you here in Egypt. Ramses II is the same Pharaoh in both stories. But in this story, this particular Pharaoh has something very meaningful. You have to know that in that period, he was at the peak of his reign. He won so many battles. He built so many monuments. And sometimes, on some moments, if you read carefully in that story, he started to do something very profound. He started to doubt himself. He started to be afraid to become like his father, Seti I. In his greatest days, he forgot how many battles he won. He forgot how many monuments he built. He failed before. He lost many battles before. But this time, he did not just fail. He fell. In this story, falling is the highest form of failure. Falling means losing yourself. Losing yourself, not to know what to do, not to know anymore what to believe. This story proves that you don't need the darkest hour to forget who you are. You can lose yourself even in the brightest day. I remember I have lost myself a few times in my life when I thought I'm very good at something, and every time I thought that, people come across and show me, hey Ramses, you're not that good as you thought. Every time that I believed I am something, life had a very, let's say, friendly, cruel way to showing you that you're not what you think. And after all this falling, I have learned a few things. First of all, I hate falling. Second, every time you lose yourself, actually you find a little bit more about yourself. And here I am today with two meanings: greatness and falling, which means losing yourself. My father always used to tell me that the greatest greatness is when you're not afraid to find yourself. Thank you.
We don't have to fall in order to lose ourselves. It can happen even in our greatest moments. Now, before saying anything else, I'd like to say that I always had a really good opinion of myself, but I never thought that I would get to judge Ramses. So, big accomplishment for me tonight. Now, these were actually the only two things I wrote down during the speech, because I just forgot I had a pen in hand. So, yeah, I do remember, though, the thing that you asked me the most to focus on before the speech, and that was clarity. And in the light of clarity, I will tell you something that I feel like you did really well during the speech and should improve in the future, should keep doing in the future, and something that you might want to look at. So the thing that you did really well, and this is going to sound kind of cliche, is that you had a really good energy. And let me explain why I really feel that this is something truly important. Because if you come here in front and you actually seem to be excited about what you are about to tell me, you're going to make me excited as well. Even if you presented it like in the best way possible or in a way that could be improved, you are making me excited to hear you. And I feel like this got me hooked to your speech to the point that I just forgot anything else about it. And the thing that I think would make the most difference in your next speeches was if you would have in mind a clear objective of your speech. You were really excited because I felt like your message was truly important. Like, even when we're at the highest, we can't forget about ourselves. And this is a really deep and important message. And you actually started giving us arguments in that light. But in some places in the speech, you went into some ideas that didn't really empower this point. Like at the time when you talked about Moses, how was he related to it, you know? And I feel like moments like this took away from your time, and you didn't have time left to actually explain us how you felt that. Give us an actual example of how you were at your highest and then just forget about yourself. Because you told us it happened, but you never actually told us how. And then you just jumped to the conclusion. And you know, jumping to a conclusion after just a pure theory that we can actually touch is not really persuasive. No matter how strong your message is. So, in conclusion, please keep up your very, very good energy on the stage, which I see very often from you. And next time, try to eliminate the parts of your speech that don't empower your remaining. That being said, I can't wait how you apply my advice in the next speech, and thank you so much for